What's going on, guys? This is Miasin. So I decided to actually make a MATHMECH combo video and deck profile, even though I actually made a few in the past, but they were completely different because it used to be like a full, MATHMECH deck that only really played MATHMECH cards and no other kind of engine and everything, but we got more support for the deck indirectly with Cyberstorm Access, the new Firewall package, but also the new Spirit Monsters, which are all really good in this deck because, honestly, all you really need in order to get your engine going would just be to make like a rank 4 monster, which is Alambertian, and then you can start playing from there. So obviously, if you can actually make it work using like a one-card combo that actually gets you there, then you can definitely do some really cool things in this deck. But obviously, it's not just that, because you can also go into Neo Tempest Terahertz, and it can send the new fusion monster, which is Cyber's the Zabworm, which can negate a spell or trap card your opponent activates when you control a Link 4 or higher Cyber's monster, if I recall correctly. Something like that. So today I'll be showing you guys 5 combos on how to, utilize this deck correctly. But before this video starts, you already know the drill. Friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. I love you. And also, the deck profile is coming up tomorrow, so stay tuned. And now let's get right into combo number 1 out of 5. Alright, so combo number 1 is really simple. All you need is Firewall Defensor. It's a 1-card combo, so you go normal summon and then link off or link Garibo. You can't go into El Mirage because this has 1200 attack. So we're going to be summoning the Firewall Guardian from the deck to the field. And when Guardian is used as a link material, you can revive it back. So now you're gonna have a level 4 monster that technically leaves the field when it would, banish when it would leave the field, but you're going to be using it as an Xyz material because the Splash Mage can revive back the Firewall Defensor. And now you go for Alambertian, and this is where you get your MATHMECH engine going, because this is a generic rank 4 monster. Really, really good. So yeah, you're going to be searching Circular, very specifically send the Nabla here. And now you're going to be tributing the Alambertian itself, revive back the Nabla, use the Circular to search the Super Factorial, tribute the Nabla itself to summon Diameter, and now you're going to be making a Transcode Talker, revive back the Splash Mage, and you've got yourself a Firewall Dragon, Gender Fluid, Neo Tempest, Terahertz. This card has a really nice effect, so it reads, negate any monster effects activated by your opponents during the battle phase, which is already relevant in case you're playing against like Ashtira, for example, because they can't go like Fenrir and then attack, banish your monster. So if they don't read that and they actually crash their Fenrir, they're going to be losing a Fenrir for free. But also, if you're, jumping over, like, let's say, Yang Zings or Burning Abyss monsters, they're not going to be recurring back any resources, which is really relevant. And then, quick effect, you can send one Cyber's monster from your deck or extra deck to the grave, and if you do, this card gains the attribute of that monster sent to the grave. Also, it gains 2500 attack, so this card can have like 7 attributes at the same time or something. You can only use this effect once per turn, and this card can attack monsters a number of times each battle phase up to the number of different attributes it has. So the more attributes you have, the merrier, which is really cool. So now you're going to be sending the Cyber's the Zabworm on your own turn. Again, you can banish this card to negate a spell or trap card your opponent activates. So this is 1 interruption, and you also have the Super Factorial. When your opponent summons something, whatever, or activates a card, you can go Firewall again in order to send the Mirrorlogic Aggregator. This card is really popular because people were playing it with Dogmatica Punishment. So basically, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can negate a face-up card on the field, including your own field, but that's obviously kind of irrelevant. So yeah, you can negate anything, and then you can go Super Factorial, summon the Laplacian, and that's a big-ass interruption because it's pretty much like a Trishula. You can send a random card from opponent's hand to the grave, a monster your opponent controls to the grave, and on top of that, a spell or trap card your opponent controls, and none of that targets, and it also doesn't destroy, it sends. So that's really good, and also you have Diameter as a Xyz material, so you can also negate any activated effects your opponent activates this turn, which is also really nice. So technically up to 4 interruptions with this card, and then 2 interruptions with the Terahertz, all of that with 1 single card, and you've got yourself an 8000 attack beater. And if your opponent would try to destroy this card with a card effect, you can banish the Firewall Defensor from your graveyard to protect it. So yeah, you got a lot going on with 1 single card. That's really freaking awesome. But what can you do with other combination of cards? Alright, so let's just say you don't really want to play the Firewall package and you want to play the Spirit Monsters instead. Let's say you got yourself Aratama as your 1-card combo. You can still do a lot, so it's not really that much different. You're going to be searching Sakitama, and then you're going to be going extra normal summon. Go for Alambertian, and honestly, this... like, it didn't even have to be Aratama. It could have just been, like, any access to a rank 4 monster, and it's always going to be the exact same thing. So, yeah, MATHMECH, Circular, send the Nabla, and then Tribute, revive back the Nabla, search the Super Factorial, summon the Diameter from the deck, and then go into Splash Mage, revive back a monster, and then go for Heat Soul, draw a card on your own turn, set the Super Factorial, draw a card on your opponent's turn. I usually recommend waiting until your opponent commits to a monster on the field before using Heat Soul, so that way you don't lose to Gamma, because this is a great way to lose to like someone top decking Gamma for turn. That would be really bad. You don't wanna get blown out when you have no business losing the game. But yeah, I mean, it's a really simple combo that always ends on the exact same thing, and it's also not really complicated. So there is not much else to cover about this very linear one-card combo. Alright, so this is where it gets really interesting. Now I have Circular as well as Sakitama, and this is where if you don't really understand the interactions between the cards in your deck, you will be missing out on a lot of value. So you really have to be aware of what every single card you play does, and also, you know, every single weird effect that sometimes might not even look like they can be relevant. Anyway, Circular will be sending the Sigma here, and then Sigma is going to be reviving itself back, so obviously you're going to be searching the Super Factorial, and then Alambertian search the Diameter, and you're going to be normal summoning the Diameter, and also going extra normal summon the Sakitama. So now you have a bunch of monsters on the board, and you're going to be going Alambertian effect, tribute the Sakitama to revive back the Sigma. Now you might be thinking, but Yaksign, I don't get it. This achieves nothing because you're just tributing a level 4 monster to get back a level 4 monster, so what's the purpose? And basically you're doing that because when you're tributing Sakitama, you can recycle, well, it's a mandatory effect, you have to recycle back a spirit monster from the graveyard to the hand. So it's, you know, free real estate, why not? And you have 3 level 4 monsters on the field, so you can actually make a turn 1 Laplacian, and it's basically like an Omega, so you're going to be making your opponent lose a card from the hand, so your opponent will start with 5 cards instead of 6, which is not too bad if you play against a deck that might actually have drawn like a, you know, a card that can stop your Super Factorial or something else. So this is always appreciated. And then you can still go into Heat Soul, and again, all that was just with Circular and Sakitama, and we still have the Sakitama in our hand. So we're going to be drawing 2 cards, and you can still get, you know, your 4 quote-unquote interruptions with the Laplacian, on top of making your opponent lose a card. So that's really freaking sick. A lot of recursion, a lot of cards that you get to keep in your hand, and all of that with just 1 or 2 cards. So imagine what you can do with more than just 1 or 2 cards. Alrighty, so this is definitely a really aggressive combo, like extremely powerful, and if you have this, you really need to know how it works, because otherwise you might actually waste a powerful hand on a worse play. But yeah, now I have Firewall Defensor as well as Parallel Exceed. So I'm going to be going normal summon and then link off into Linguribo, special summon the Parallel Exceed. I'm going to be special summoning the Firewall Guardian, and Parallel Exceed is going to be summoning another one. And then Cyrus Wicked, obviously the Firewall Guardian will summon itself, and then I'm going to be searching Diameter. And then Alambertian is going to be searching the Circular. So just like that, by drawing no actual MATHMECH cards, I can still get my hands on 2 of the, well, actually the 2 best MATHMECH monsters, honestly. Circular is the best one, and Diameter is, you know, close, not really close to Circular, let's just stop the cap, but it's still really freaking nice, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, you're going to be going Circular effect, send the Sigma. We already used our normal summon, so we have, unfortunately, to special summon the Diameter from the hand. It is what it is, but it's not the end of the world. Now we're going to be getting rid of the Cyrus Wicked, and the reason for that is because Sigma can only use its effect while you control no monsters in the extra monster zone. So now we don't, which means that we can revive itself back, and then we can go for Laplacian, make our opponent lose yet again another card from the hand, and then Splash Mage, revive back the Laplacian, and then Transcode, revive back the Splash Mage or the Cyrus Wicked, and then link off into Terahertz. So this is the full combo, the full board of 6 interruptions on top of making your opponent lose a card, which is really freaking filthy. And it was really crafty the way we managed to actually get the missing MATHMECH monster without actually having to rely on Nabla, because some builds might choose not to play Nabla, which I definitely understand because it kind of is a brick. And if you don't want to do that, then you always need to figure out how you're going to be getting your third name. And usually you're getting your third name, which is Diameter, by searching it with Cyrus Wicked, and then by special summoning it from the hand using the Laplacian effect, because it's either from the hand or graveyard. You really have to be aware of that. So yeah, it's a really nice combo. Again, every single MATHMECH deck should be able to, pull it off. Except that if you don't want to play the extra deck for Neo Tempest Terahertz, it's fine. You can still end on like Deco Talk or Heat Soul and, keep some resources for yourself. So, the world is your oyster. There's so many things that you can do. This deck is really interesting. Anyways, we've got a 5th and final combo now. Alrighty, so this is combo number 5, and it's honestly really freaking awesome. But before we proceed, because of how much awesomeness you're about to witness, I really need to ask you guys to smash the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much. And now we can actually go into this magnificence of a nasty combo, honestly. So yeah, Circular is going to be sending the Sigma again. Oh my god, Yaxon, you're so original. It's always the same thing with you. Yeah, no shit, it's the best play you can do. Is Alambertian Surge the Diameter? Yeah, no, I'm not, because this time you actually want to search Addition. Actually, completely different from what you're used to seeing. But I'm actually going for a really unique play here, so yeah, bear with me. Anyways, link off for Cyber's Wicked, and then, you know, get your search of Diameter for once, and then Parallelic Seed, summon another Parallelic Seed, and now we're going to be going into Transcotalker, revive back the Cyber's Wicked, link into Terahertz. Oh, this is interesting. Fun fact, I still have my normal summon, so I can actually do more than just, you know, Terahertz, set Super Factorial, pass turn there. I could be sending Cyber's the Zabworm right now and then just pass turn, but I'm not going to be doing that, because I want to be sending a card from my deck to the graveyard for once in my life, and not from my extra deck, because yes, Neo Tempest Terahertz actually gives you the option of either your extra deck or your deck. So I'm actually going to be sending Microcoder from my deck to the graveyard, and I'm going to be normal summoning that Diameter in order to revive back a MATHMECH monster and actually make Splash Mage. Yes, because again, I never use Splash Mage this combo. It's really freaking interesting, and that's the reason why I didn't want to search the Diameter before. I wanted to search the Addition or the Subtraction because I needed a special summon extender from my hand. It's not really because I needed like an extra name, because when you think about it, I already have 4 MATHMECH names at the moment in my grave. I got Sigma, Circular, Addition, and Diameter. Could have also been Subtraction, by the way, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, now I can actually go into Splash Mage and combo off and actually get a search with that Microcoder on top of summon that Heat Soul. And I got a Cotalker monster on my board, and I can search Silent Conflict, which is an Omni Negate. So I've got the Draw 2, I've got the Negate that I'm going to be sending with the Neo Tempest Terahertz, I got the freaking Super Factorial, I got everything I can ask for. This is absolutely disgusting. Like, again, all of that with just 2 cards. All you need is 2 cards, and you can end on absolutely everything that you see on the screen. This is gorgeous. Now, I don't recommend main decking Silent Conflict as well as Microcoder in your deck. I think they should be in the side deck because you can consistently get access to them when you're going first, but you're usually not really going to be relying on them, and they only make sense if you also play Terahertz, and you kind of need to draw the crack if you want to be pulling this combo off. But again, it's just a 2-card combo, so if you have like multiple cards, you can achieve it way easier. But yeah, I definitely got you guys, huh, with this weird sequencing, for sure. Definitely not the kind of thing you usually expect to see. Alambertian searching like a random MATHMECH and not like Diameter, and then later on searching it with Cyber's Wicked, and actually sending a monster from the deck with Neo Tempest Terahertz. This is really interesting. I kind of got a little bit of inspiration from the OCG, even though I actually didn't really check any combo videos for that, or any combos for that matter. I really just like looked at their deck list that they were using to, you know, top, and I was like, oh, I'm actually gonna build my own thing using their concept. But yeah, really freaking interesting deck. I'm a big fan. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon, actually tomorrow, for the deck profile. Peace.